Greetings everyone. Let's have a look at US30. So I'm on the monthly chart, and from here I'm just going to go down to the weekly chart. So here we are on the weekly chart, and one of the first things that I can already see is that Friday's candle closed as a very strong bullish candle, which in a way confirms that the market is actually ready to push further up, and that is also supported by the fact that we have a W structure in this region, with this being the second leg of the W structure, and this level also being the neckline of that W structure, right? So that means that actually the W structure, in my humble opinion, should end around at this level over here. And as you can see, we still have some space in between where that candlestick ends and that resistance level over there, right? So let's proceed. So over above that, what else do we see on this chart that we should be paying attention to? Another thing that is also very interesting or important is the fact that we have this candlestick over here. It is a liquidity candlestick, and it tells us that price in the future has to come to that level to grab that liquidity, right? Also, because we have a W structure over here, what happened is a lot of traders and investors bought on the second leg of that W structure, and they put their stop losses just below that level. So not only do we have liquidity trapped at this level, we also have plenty of liquidity trapped at this level over here as well. So in other words, there's actually scope for price to come back to that level, come back to this level over here at some point, and that is because we have a whole lot of liquidity in that zone, right? So what I'm going to do now before we proceed is actually add a neckline for that W structure. Just bear with me. Okay, there goes the neckline of our W structure, right? Another thing that I'm going to do is mark that candlestick that I spoke about, which is carrying all of that liquidity. Just bear with me. There we go. There we go. Right. And guys, I usually say that when it comes to W structures, I ideally would love to see price, after having broken the neckline, come back to the neckline to retest it, which is where we would look for further buying opportunities, right? However, can you guys see that we are not, or rather we have not yet seen a retracement of price to the neckline, right? And that is what we would love to see happen. If price from where it is comes back to this level, we would look for possible buying opportunities. We would look for possible buying opportunities, right? Anyway, I'm just going to utilize the Fibonacci retracement tool just to see if the neckline aligns with any of the key numbers that we have on the Fibonacci retracement tool. So just bear with me. There we go. So can you guys see that we have the 50% Fibonacci level where we have that neckline of this W structure? So should price from where it is go back down to the neckline, we would definitely look for buying opportunities, and that is because we have confluence, right? We have one, the W structure; two, the neckline of that W structure; three, the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, right? And the fourth confirmation should be something like a certain candlestick pattern or whatever you use, but there should be at least a fourth confirmation before actually buying should price come back to this level, right? Anyway, let's proceed. I'm just going to delete this fib tool, right? And what I'm going to do now is head down to the daily chart. So here we are on the daily chart. What do we see on the daily chart that is interesting or that we should be paying attention to? So in the previous video, I had spoken about the fact that we have an M structure there with a neckline there, and I said that in the future we might see price come back to this level to retest the neckline of that M structure. And can you guys see that it actually happened? Here we are. Price is testing the neckline of that M structure. So what may possibly happen is price may push further down from where it is to this level to not only retrace but to retest this level, which is the neckline of that huge W structure we spoke about. And I said that should price from where it is retrace down to this level, we would look for further buying opportunities to at least this level over here, where the um, where the W structure would actually end, right? It would be complete at around this level or so. So should price from where it is come back to just bear with me, come back to this level, we would look for buying opportunities, and our take profit would be somewhere around this level over here, and that would be the completion of this W structure, right? However, just bear in mind that it may not happen like that. We're just speculating at this stage, and I'm also just showing you what I would love to see happen in the next week. However, we also need to make sure that we react based on what price does, right? Anyway, from here I'm just gonna add the channel. Just bear with me. Let's see. This is my daily channel. Right? Yeah, that's my daily channel. So yeah, so that's the daily chart. Is there anything else of interest on this particular chart that we should be paying attention to? I don't see much really, but I'm just gonna for now mark that area where I expect that W structure to end, because it's a strong resistance level actually. There we go, right? And we might see price also retrace at this level if it doesn't retrace from where it is currently. So from here I'm just gonna head down to the H4 chart. Just bear with me while I fix my trend line. There we go. All right, so here we are on the H4 channel, or rather on the H4 chart. So what do we see on this chart that is interesting or significant? Another thing that is actually very interesting is how the last H4 candlestick closed. It closed as a liquidity candlestick, and it tells us that in the next coming days, price has to go up to where that candlestick ends at the top, because there's a whole lot of liquidity that's sitting at this level, right? So what else do we see on this chart? I also see that we have this candlestick over here. It is a liquidity candlestick, and it tells me that at some point the market needs to come back here to grab that liquidity. Similarly, we also have this one here. It is also a liquidity candlestick, and it tells us that the market needs to come down to this level to grab that liquidity, right? Remember, we also spoke about this level, and we said that the market needs to come down to that level to just retest the neckline of that W structure that we spoke about, right? So what else do we see on this chart that we should be paying attention to? Let's see. So I don't see much really in as far as this H4 chart goes, but just to recap, ideally what we'd love to see happen is price from where it is retrace to this level to retest this neckline of that W structure. And remember that this neckline is also in alignment with the 50% Fibonacci retracement zone. And yeah, guys, as I said, this is a nice buy area. However, we would need further reasons for buying. We shouldn't just buy just by virtue of the fact that we have a W structure, a neckline, as well as the Fibonacci retracement zone of 50%. We would need further reasons, right? So that is it, guys, as far as my analysis goes for US Tech. Just remember, bear in mind that we also have this level, by the way, before I forget. It's also a very important level because it's a liquidity level. And what may actually happen is, as much as the anticipation is for price to come to this level and then move further up. What may actually happen is price may break this level, then head down to the level, which would now be a resistance level, and from here push further down to this area where we have that candlestick that I spoke about on the bigger time frames, which is carrying a whole lot of liquidity, right? Yeah, so that is it in as far as my analysis goes for US30. Cheers.